So the previous video was disconnected. I'm just reconnecting one point and then I'll start ahead. The significance of ventilation of acute settings. Type 1 respiratory failure, also known as hypoxic respiratory failure, is usually treated with oxygen therapy and prognosis is related to the underlying pathology. Aim is to maintain the saturation of 94 to 98%. Type 2 respiratory failure, also known as the ventilatory failure, is commonly due to the exacerbation of COPD, although it can also occur in the cardiorespiratory and neuromuscular conditions and in the cases of coronavirus infection. Prognosis is often related to the severity of the ventilatory failure and urgent treatment is required. Treatment with oxygen has the potential to worsen the situation. Refer to the condition specific guidelines to use the controlled oxygen to maintain the range between 88 to 92%. Now, oxygen and breathlessness. When assessing breathless patients using pulse oximetry, it is important to consider that hypoxemia and breathlessness are not always closely related. Patients may be very breathless with normal saturations or not breathless with low saturations. Oxygen therapy is a treatment of hypoxemia and in the presence of normal saturations gives little benefit for breathlessness. Treatment of hypoxemia requires oxygen therapy. The urgency of providing oxygen of breathlessness and hypoxemic patients depends on whether the patient is experiencing a flare-up of respiratory symptoms or is in their usual stable condition. Treatment of breathlessness will need to be detected at the underlying problem, that is bronchodilators, steroids and antibiotics for COPD and pulmonary rehabilitation for decongestioning as well as coronavirus infection. Acute versus chronic settings. In acute phase with an unstable patient, hypoxemia requires urgent treatment to improve oxygen delivery to the metabolic tissues. Hypoxemia can cause lactic acidosis and sudden deterioration. However, in some patients, especially those with COPD, there is a risk of oxygen therapy may aggravate ventilatory failure. In these patients, a target saturation of 88 to 92% may be appropriate. In the most other circumstances, a target saturation of 94 to 98 is reasonable. In a chronic setting where there is a stable patient in having routine assessment, hypoxemia does not usually require urgent treatment. A very low referral for respiratory outpatient review, having a record of a patient usual saturation is useful, as a sudden drop should prompt a search for a cause for even an admission to the patient if it is unwell. In the long term, continuing hypoxemia will cause pulmonary hypertension and right heart failure, so the resting saturation of 92% or less should be promptly referral to the respiratory unit for assessment for long term oxygen therapy. Resting saturation above 92% with desaturation of more than 4% on exertion should be prompt referral to a respiratory unit for assessment for ambulatory oxygen, although the evidence of the benefit is sparse. The total summary is the pulse oximeter provides a cheap, quick and non-invasive method of assessing oxygenation. There is a number of technical points which must be understood before an accurate saturation can be reliably obtained. Interpretation of the result requires an underlying understanding of the patient condition and importantly whether the patient is unstable and acutely well or whether they are in a stable phase of a chronic illness. So this is all about the pulse oximetry. So this is for the people who are using who are quarantined in their homes and who are using pulse oximetry to monitor the oxygen level at their homes in the cases of coronavirus infections. Thank you so much for watching. You can share this video with others. Thank you. Bye bye.